I think the biggest thing is that as Catholics, as Christians, we need to be living out our life. We need to be living on a religion, not just using it as a label. And you can see going further into like society, people are always wearing crosses. It's like now it's just a cool symbol. It's like it's just nice. It means nothing to most people, and it's just being mocked constantly. I think there's many. I think Estelle said it. She goes, Estelle and Simon said it about, if you look who's persecuted most, it's like, okay, it's like Christians, and then it's like what's the Catholics, and they're constantly persecuting the Catholic Church for like some things are bad they do, but normal things, and they're constantly taking the cross and just making it bad. I mean, look what what's his face just did, Lil Nas X in that video, that one Sabrina Carpenter in that church.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Christian church.
Oh,
it was a Catholic.
Very obviously, yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
It's obvious what they're trying to do, who's trying to do it, if you have that lens to look at it. Mm-hmm. But it just is another news story, another thing that happens.
Yeah. And I think along with like living out your faith and, you know, being a good representation, to also not be afraid to like because we go to confession to like confess our sins, obviously. But I think that, you know, since like Protestants don't go to confession, maybe they talk about it more with like their friends or whatever to help hold them accountable. And I think that that's something that maybe we're missing a little bit. Probably not. You know, I'm sure people have like accountability and stuff. But I remember this time when I was a freshman in college, and there was this. I don't like remember the whole encounter, but I was in like the dining hall, like in line to get food, and there was this guy who was super active at Mass. Like I think he would be like an extraordinary minister, or maybe he read at Mass sometimes. And I remember somebody saying like, "Oh, I haven't seen you at Mass," and he was like, "Oh," like just announced it. Was like, "Oh man, I gotta go to confession. I'm in a state of mortal sin. I can't receive communion." And I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Whoa!" But like, I think about it all the time, and I'm like, he just said that, and like, there's so many people who probably were in the same situation and just are still receiving communion, like, don't realize that it's a big deal, or haven't gone to Mass, but like, maybe that could have been, you know, something for that, like, other people to hear and be like, oh, it's not just me. I'm not like everyone sins, you know, and just, I think it was Simon said this on the podcast, about like, no matter how far away you've run, like, all you have to do is turn around. You don't have to get back to where you were before. If you used to, you know, go to adoration once a week or, you know, pray the rosary every day and you've fallen out of it, you don't have to get back to that point. It doesn't take this great act of faith to, like, get back to Jesus. He's ready to hug you as soon as you turn back around. And, like, that's all you have to do. Like, just take one step and he's there. Mm-hmm. And this was something, when we were in the Holy Land, we went to Jericho. And it was the hottest day. Jericho's down. It's the lowest city in the world. So you have to like go down to it. And then to get to Jerusalem is like an ascent. So the Psalms of Ascent are what the Jewish people would pray when they're on their way to Jerusalem. But when we were in Jericho, that's where Zacchaeus is from. Mm-hmm. And so we all know the story of Zacchaeus. But his act of faith was that he climbed a tree. He just wanted to see Jesus. And like, we can all kind of take a lesson there, is that all he did was climb a tree. He was like, I want to see Jesus. That's it. And Jesus met him there and was like, all right, I'm going to your house, you know? And so just taking like a tiny step in the right direction is like all Jesus needs to like just take you in. Mm-hmm.